You think you can't dominate a Model UN conference without being a P5 country like US, Russia, or China? Think again. Today, I'm breaking down real MUN strategies that will help you win Best Delegate, even if you're representing Bhutan or Turkey. Stick around because today I'm going to give you insider tactics most beginners never learn. Let's dive in. MUN isn't about the size of your country, it's about how smart you play the game. This video will cover how to make yourself heard even with zero veto power, the art of alliances, and why being the first to network matters, how to dominate unmoderated caucuses without being loud or bossy, and my personal favorite top secret ways to make your resolutions pass. Ready? Let's go. Understand your role and research like a pro. First things first, know your country inside out. If you're not a P5, your strength lies in expertise and niche influence. For example, if you're Bhutan in Human Rights Council, don't try to act like the US because that won't work. Instead, play to Bhutan's real world image, which is peace, diplomacy, and sustainable development. That is your leverage. Also, if you're like a super small country and which is mostly unheard of, like Timor Leste, I think I pronounced that wrong, but whatever, Timor Leste, most people have not heard of that country. So you can take digs and you can research about other countries, take jabs at them, and they won't have anything to, jab at you later. Maybe on day two they will, but day one they would be completely lost as to how to retaliate. Here's how the research smart part works. Go beyond Wikipedia. Use UN documents, past resolutions, and official government websites. Find two or three flagship policies that your country supports. If you're India in UHO, talk about healthcare initiatives. If you're Brazil in UNEP, talk about deforestation. Memorize key phrases from past speeches by your country's real life UN delegates. Quoting real statements make you sound criminal. It does not make you sound criminal. It makes you sound credible, sorry, and intimidating to others. The bottom line is if you sound like a real delegate, people will take you seriously, even if your placard is tiny, to be remembered. Now, let's talk about speaking skills. Most beginners think that an MUN conference is about talking a lot. It's not. It's about making an impact in the 60 seconds of the moderated caucus speech you get or the GSL you get. Here is the formula: hook, policy, and then call to action. For example, Honorable Chair, distinguished delegates, as Bhutan, we believe, and then add a quick policy statement. Therefore, we urge this committee to prioritize and then add a clear action. But here's the real hack: latch on to previous speakers. If the US says we need stronger cyber regulations, jump in and say, building on the delegate of US's point, Bhutan proposes XYZ. Also, you can criticize the other points by saying, like, maybe again, building on US's point, Bhutan thinks that adding strong cyber regulations will only falter the growth of developing nations in cyber security or stuff like that. Also, end with a cliffhanger. Like, we have a unique solution to this. That gets people curious and they'll come to find you during the unmoderated caucus. 3. Master unmoderated caucuses. Unmods are where the real deals happen. It's where winners are made. If you sit in the corner, you have already lost. Here's how to own the room even when you're representing like a really micro nation. Step 1. Be the initiator. The first person to suggest a block or a draft resolution becomes the leader by default. Let's say, let's just say, like, let's start working on a resolution around whatever your country's goal is, and then ask people to pitch in. Step 2. Find the P5 and big countries fast. Don't ignore them. You need their support to pass anything, especially in UNSC. Approach them early and offer compromise based ideas. Like, we know that your priority is XYZ and R is LMNOP. So let's just merge them together. And third, recruit small countries for numbers. If you get 7 to 10 signatories, you become sorry, if you get 7 to 10 signatures, you become essential. People will come to you instead of you chasing people. And step 4, write strategically. Don't just list generic solutions, because generic solutions have already been proposed and they do not catch anyone's eye. Add specific and implementable actions and buzzwords like capacity building, sustainable development, multilateral framework. These impress the chair, plus, it makes it look like you've actually studied a lot on the topic. Section 4, be the negotiator everyone needs. The secret to winning MUN: power is not in your placard, it's in your connections. During breaks, keep networking. Ask delegates what's your priority in this resolution, and then use that information to mediate conflicts later. There will always be a few problematic delegates who just like to think that their country is the best and they're the best delegate there. Honestly, those people tend to cause a lot of drama, so use that information to try to sort out the drama. Be the bridge builder. If two blocks are fighting, again, most probably these two blocks will be led by the two most problematic delegates in the committee. Offer a compromise and merge the drafts. When the final resolution passes, everyone remembers that you made it happen, even the chair. And always volunteer for speaking roles in presentation. If you are the face of the block, the chair notices. Section 5 or Step 5, the presentation and voting game. When presenting your draft resolution, sound confident but inclusive. Say that, let's say, this resolution reflects the interests of multiple regions and ensures practical implementation through, and name one unique clause that your bloc added. And when voting comes, rally your allies. Whisper reminders like, don't forget to vote for draft one and we'll support yours next session. That is coalition politics. And if your draft fails, stay calm and negotiate amendments to still get your ideas in the final document. And trust me, even if your draft failed, the chair has already noticed you, because you were the one who led a block to be the face of a block and to be the one presenting and taking the questions and taking the fire. The chair has already noticed you. So, you can win your first MUN without being a P5? Absolutely, you can. You just need strategy, confidence, and ability to turn allies into your strengths. If this video helped, then hit the like button, share it with your MUN squad, and subscribe. Until then, stay diplomatic, which is okay. Stay diplomatic and get that Best Delegate award.